Hey there, I'm Hazel. I'm 32, living in Chicago with my amazing husband, Liam, and our little firecracker, Lily. Life's pretty good, except for one major thorn in my side. My dad, Frank. Growing up with him wasn't a picnic. His outdated views always made me cringe, but I tried to keep the peace. Since marrying Liam, who's African American, though Frank's comments have shifted from annoying to downright offensive. Just last week, he came over for dinner, and I was this close to losing it. He barely greeted Liam and dove right into his usual nonsense. Hazel, honey, he started, don't you think Lily's hair would look better if you straightened it? I took a deep breath. Dad, her hair is beautiful as it is. As we ate, Frank went on about how back in my day, people stuck to their own kind. I saw Liam's jaw clench and Lily's confused face. I couldn't hold back any longer. Dad, that's enough. We've talked about this. But he kept pushing. I'm just saying, Hazel, have you thought about how hard it might be for Lily being, That was it. I put down my fork. Being what, Dad? Mixed race? Is that what you're trying to say? The room went silent. Even Lily stopped fidgeting with her food. I think it's time for you to leave, I said, standing. Until you can respect my family, all of us, you're not welcome here. Frank looked stunned, like he couldn't believe I was standing up to him. But Hazel, I'm your father. Then start acting like one, I snapped. After you left, I broke down. Liam held me while Lily asked why Grandpa was so mean. It broke my heart. Later that night, I called my mom, Linda. She divorced Frank years ago but tries to keep the peace for my sake. Oh honey, she sighed when I told her, I'm so sorry. You did the right thing. The next day at work, my best friend and coworker, Jenna, could tell something was up. Spill it, Thompson. What's wrong? I told her everything over coffee, and she was a rock for me, as always. Hazel, listen to me. You're protecting your family, and that's what matters. She was right, of course, but it didn't make things any easier. It's been a few weeks since I kicked Dad out, and every day he's left guilt-tripping voicemails about family and how I'm keeping Lily from him. Finally, I blocked his number, but Frank didn't back off. One morning, I woke up to a flood of notifications. Cousins, old friends, even my third-grade teacher were all asking what was going on. Frank had gone nuclear on Facebook, painting me as an ungrateful, family-hating monster. And worst of all, people were buying it. Aunt Karen, Dad's sister, called me. Hazel, honey, is everything okay? Your father's post has us all worried. I tried to explain, but it felt like shouting into a void. For everyone who listened, there were two more ready to believe his lies. It even reached work. I was in the middle of a major account when my boss pulled me into his office. Hazel, we need to talk about your personal situation. It's affecting our image. My heart sank. After all the work I put in, it was unraveling because of Dad's vendetta. Thank God for Jenna, she wouldn't let him ruin my career. Hazel, we're not letting this psycho tank your reputation, she said, helping me draft responses and damage control strategies. Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, they did. I stumbled upon a website called The Truth About Hazel Thompson. A daughter's betrayal. My hands shook as I clicked through it. Twisted stories about our family. Lies about me abandoning my heritage because I married Liam. I felt sick. I called Liam, barely getting the words out. Babe, breathe, he said, his voice calm. We'll get through this. He's not going to win. But as I stared at the screen, I wasn't so sure. How could I fight this? How could I protect my family and career from Dad's venom? I thought of Lily, about how she might find us one day. It was no longer about me. It was about protecting her from the toxicity I grew up with. I was done playing defense. It was time to fight fire with fire. I called my cousin Alex, a tech genius. Alex, I need your help. We're taking Dad down. He was all in. We spent hours combing through Frank's online activity, documenting every lie, every manipulation. The deeper we dug, the uglier it got. But I needed more. I called Mom, hoping she might shed some light on Dad's past behavior. Hazel, honey, she started, her voice heavy. There's something I need to tell you. Your father, he wasn't just manipulative with family. There were financial issues too. Then she told me everything. Tax evasion, shady business deals, the works. And she had proof. Old documents, bank statements, you name it. I kept these in case he ever tried anything, she explained. I never thought I'd need to use them against him like this. Meanwhile, Liam was working his own angle. He got in touch with his lawyer buddy, Jake. A cease and desist might work, Jake advised over speakerphone. But you need solid evidence. Keep documenting everything. Alex and I dove back into Dad's online activity, and what we found made my stomach turn. He wasn't just manipulating family, he was running an entire investment scheme targeting elderly folks in his neighborhood, convincing them to invest their life savings. Hazel, look at this, Alex said, pointing at his screen. He's promising these people a 20% return. There's no way this is legit. My heart sank. How many lives had he ruined? How long had this been going on? Then I got a call from Aunt Emma, Dad's sister. Her voice was shaky. Hazel, I don't know how to say this, but I think your father's been lying to all of us. She went on to explain that Dad had been borrowing money from various family members, telling them I was sick and needed expensive treatments. He said you didn't want anyone to know, she continued, that you were too proud to ask for help. I was speechless. The depth of his deception was staggering. He hadn't just tried to ruin my reputation. He used my name to scam our own family. Aunt Emma, I'm not sick. I never have been. Dad made it all up. The silence on the other end was deafening. Then a quiet sob. Oh, Hazel, I'm so sorry. We should have known. We should have checked with you first. After we hung up, I sat there, numb from the lies, manipulation, and sheer audacity of it all. I felt angry, betrayed, and weirdly relieved. For the first time, I had concrete proof of who my father truly was. Liam found me like that, staring into nothing, and without a word, he wrapped his arms around me. We've got him, I finally said, my voice muffled against his chest. We've actually got him. Liam pulled back, looking me in the eye. What do you want to do? I took a deep breath, and in that moment, my path was clear. No more playing nice. No more keeping the peace. It was time to expose Frank for who he really was. I want to take him down, I said, my voice steady. Not just for us, but for everyone he's hurt. It's time he faces the consequences of his actions. Liam nodded, a determined look in his eyes. Then that's what we'll do. Together. I took another deep breath, my finger hovering over the post button. This was it, the moment of truth. I'd spent days crafting my statement, making sure every word was precise, every claim backed up with solid evidence. You've got this, babe, Liam said, squeezing my shoulder. But I wasn't done yet. With Alex's help, I compiled all the evidence of Dad's financial schemes and sent an anonymous tip to the authorities. It felt strange, turning in my own father, but I kept reminding myself of all the people he'd hurt. Then, one morning, my phone exploded with notifications. Dad had been arrested for fraud and tax evasion. The story was everywhere. Hazel, have you seen the news? Jenna's voice was electric with excitement on the phone. They're saying your dad could face serious jail time. It was surreal. Part of me felt guilty, but a bigger part felt relieved. The truth was finally out, and soon the apologies started rolling in. Old friends, distant relatives, all of them were reaching out, expressing regret for having believed Dad's lies. Each message felt like a mix of vindication and sadness. I'm so sorry, Hazel. I should have known better, my cousin Tom wrote. Your dad always had a way of twisting things. Dealing with the fallout wasn't easy. I began seeing a therapist, trying to work through the years of manipulation and emotional abuse that had marked my relationship with my father. It's okay to feel conflicted, my therapist, Dr. Chen, assured me. He's still your father, but you did the right thing. Through it all, Liam and Lily were my rocks. Lily might not have understood everything, but she knew when Mommy was sad. Her hugs always made things a little brighter. As the months passed, life started to feel normal again. Then came the company gala, and with it some unexpected news. The big account I thought I'd lost was back on the table. To Hazel Thompson, my boss announced, raising a glass, who not only landed the Peterson account, but showed us all what true integrity looks like. I looked around the room, seeing Liam's proud smile, Jenna's enthusiastic thumbs up, and the supportive faces of my colleagues. I felt overwhelmed with gratitude. Later that night, sitting on our couch, I scrolled through old photos on my phone and came across one of Dad and me from my college graduation. For a moment, I hesitated, memories flooding back. But then, with a steady breath, I hit delete. You okay? Liam asked, joining me on the couch. I nodded, surprised by how much I meant it. Yeah, I really am. As I set my phone aside, a realization dawned on me. This ordeal with Dad, it wasn't just about standing up for myself. It was about breaking a cycle, making sure that Lily grows up in a home filled with love, respect, and honesty, not manipulation and lies. I glanced over at Lily playing on the carpet, her toothy grin meeting my gaze. In that moment, I knew that everything I'd been through, every hard decision, was worth it. For her. For us. What are you thinking about? Liam asked, his eyes following mine to Lily. I leaned into him, feeling at peace for the first time in months. The future, I said softly. Our future. The story of Hazel Thompson's journey has come to an end. Now I have a question for you. If you were in Hazel's position, would you have exposed your father's illegal activities to the authorities, knowing it could lead to his arrest? Or would you have tried to handle the situation privately within the family? It's a tough moral dilemma. On one hand, Frank's actions hurt many people beyond just Hazel. On the other, he's still family. What would you do? Share your thoughts in the comments below.